Whoa. What is up, everybody? Okay. Alright. I have a good reason for doing everything that I'm doing. Everything has a beautiful, wonderful teleology behind it. Let me begin. It is September 2024, and in January 2024, I read a book called The Stranger by Albert Camus. See, I was in QBD bookstore in High Point shopping center, and they didn't have The Myth of Sisyphus. So I just grabbed The Stranger instead because, it had like some sort of Nobel Prize winning thing on it. But here's the thing, this is going to be the worst book review of all time. It's going to be bad. Let me begin. Okay, plot summary. Okay, so there's this guy called
Meursault,
and he doesn't really care about anything. And then, okay. What does he not care about? He doesn't care about his mother dying. His mother died before the book even began. He's like, I think she died yesterday, today. And you'd think, like, that's something that most people would kind of remember, right? And eventually he shoots a guy. He shoots an Arab man. See, this Meursault is living in French-occupied Algeria. Is it still occupied? I don't know. I don't know anything about Algeria except that, you know what? I shouldn't say that. So anyway, he's imprisoned, and then he spends some time contemplating, and then he kind of speaks for himself at some sort of trial, and then he's sentenced to death. And through all this suffering and meaninglessness, he's just like, he ends up chill with it at the end. He ends up okay with it, accepting his demise. Now, what exactly does this mean? Does this mean? All right. Background. Who made these slides, bro? They're so bad. Oh wait, I did. For most of Western civilization, people have been like, hey, if nobody has me, then God gets me, right? And dude, this is the original meme. Isn't that crazy? This has been like warped so many times and screenshotted so many times, and it's ridiculous, right? But here's the thing, right? Especially when it comes to meaning. I mean, you can just like, oh, okay, I'm built to serve God. Done. Well, that was easy. Figured that one out. But then some guys, and not specifically these three, but I think these three are symbolically very important. Darwin, Laplace, and Newton. These nerds, they came out with tools in the scientific revolution to kind of, well, Darwin's kind of after that, but just accept the point, right? They came up with tools that kind of maybe undermine the possibility of religiosity, which is to say, we came from monkeys. No, I'm just joking. What is that to say? What's the next slide, actually? Okay. That's a hilarious slide. It's coming right up. But basically, the relationship between religion and science is very complicated. We have on one side people saying like the church hates science, and the other side saying the church invented science. Whatever happened was science eventually gave rise to some tools that, through one way or another, undermined faith in general. So this young bloke here, the inventor of the meme, Richard Dawkins, he writes a book called The God Delusion. And that inspires this guy, Frederic Nietzsche, to write something called The Gay Science. This is gay. This is the word gay. Where he said, God is dead and buried and stuff like that. And basically, like nothing matters. Nothing matters anymore. Yeah. As soon as Richard Dawkins and Nietzsche teamed up together, everything stopped mattering. What's the next? Okay, so then we kind of get into Sartre's disgusting bug eyes. Okay, we get the rise of nihilism, and then we have like existentialism, where it's like, okay, basically a big chunk of continental philosophy, which is the non-analytical part of philosophy, if you even accept that distinction. Basically, a lot of people are like, okay, let's look for the meaning. Nihilists, there is no meaning. Okay. Existentialists, we get to make it ourselves. And the absurdists are like, what do they say? Life has no meaning. Who cares? And I'm out of slides for the PowerPoint. Isn't that absurd? Isn't that wonderfully absurd? I keep using that word, but what exactly does it mean? Well, Albert Camus kind of came up with this thing like, okay, life has no meaning inherently, so so what? I can't be forced to care about that. And he came up with some ways to get over it, which is like live radically, live ambitiously, stuff like that. Kill yourself. There was a third option. It's not coming to mind right now. How funny would it be if I was doing research in the middle of this book review? You know what? Let me do research in the middle of this book review. This is so absurd. This is so wacky, isn't it? Is it not? Is everything not crazy? Let me just start out with a pet peeve that I have just a little bit. When people talk about like this whole lack of meaning thing is new. The human condition doesn't change, like ever. I think even when we have robot bodies on the moon, it's still, I doubt we're not going to be dealing with the same things we're dealing with, right? So Nietzsche actually disagreed. Wait, why am I talking about Nietzsche, bro? That's the next video actually. Beyond Good and Evil. Check out that video. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let me just go through these slides. These slides are really bad. But okay, death is a big part of life, as ironic as that is, right? So The Stranger is actually bookended by a couple of deaths. So the first death is his mother's death, right? Meusson's mother's death, which he is ambivalent towards. He doesn't give a rip. He doesn't. It's like, yeah, and he allow it, bro. I don't care. He falls asleep on the bus, which is like to be expected in the whole country. But he just shows up there, and when he's mourning, everyone's just like, dude, this guy's whack. Because this guy's not even mourning. He's just like distracted. He doesn't care. And in many ways, I can't decide. Is Albert Camus trying to portray this guy as like the modern man, the nihilistic man, or the radically absurd man? I believe he starts out as the nihilistic man. The man who's literally just driven by impulses, by pleasures. It's the second death that the book. Oh my God! The second death. This guy, Meusson, kills an Arab. Why? Because he just finds himself in like a series of unfortunate events, and he doesn't plan on fighting them. He just like allow it. He very Taoist in a way. Anyway, we're getting too deep. He kills a man because the sun is pounding too hot on his head, and everyone else finds that ridiculous. But to him, it's just like, yeah, because there is literally no difference to this man between situation A, situation B, impulse A, impulse B, except I guess the most basic hedonistic impulses. Like he has a missus, but she wants him to what? Meusson has a missus. No, he doesn't. Okay, he has a woman that he enjoys the company with, but he is like, if she leaves, she leaves. I don't really like her. I don't really love her. She wants me to love her. I can't really do that. There's not much going on in here or in here. And the third death is his own, right? This guy's sentenced to death, and the last pages are him accepting it and being happy for the first time. Or for the first time in the book, he's not just content, or he's not just... It's hard to explain. Maybe it's easier to explain to someone who actually read the book, because, listen, I read this in January. I haven't touched it since. I lent it to my cousin. Yesterday I was at a family function, and she's like, Abram, I have to give you back your book. She's the one who bought me my copy of Beyond Good and Evil by Frederic Nietzsche, which, shout out Lisa. Anyway, what were we talking about? His own death, right? So, the last pages of him are going, oh, okay, I guess he accepts the situation, but he does it in a way which allows him to live more fully in his last few moments than he ever did in any of his years of life. Right. I guess that's what Camus is kind of hinting at, right? That we should... This situation is so whack. This whole living thing, it's so whack that I guess it's just... All we can do is just like... This is crazy. Just go Joker mode and just rise up above it. Or at least don't get caught up in the weeds, but allow yourself to still enjoy life. You know what? Yeah, you should be caught up in the weeds. You should feel pain. You should this, that. I don't care, bro. Not like it matters anyway. No, but seriously, like for example, right? In his trial, I think some character witnesses are brought up, and it eventually kind of seems to our protagonist here that he's being punished more for like being hella chill and nonchalant. He's being punished for not mourning his mum enough, more than he's being punished for the Arab thing. Like he kind of sees through that. And I think that is a little bit of societal commentary on where people who don't really conform, it's just like they are punished for their non-conformity, because it does scare us to see someone who's like radically above everything else or below it or just whatever, who just refuses to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like Diogenes the Cynic, or that's the only example I had. What page was this on? This is such a bad review, bro. I liked the book. It was pretty short read. Burnt through it. Where was I? I was on the Gold Coast. I was in Surfers Paradise. That was 8 months ago. Damn. This book won a Nobel Prize. I don't know. Listen, I love stories and I love allegories, but I probably would have just preferred to like have this stuff explained to me, maybe with a couple analogies here and there. Actually, no. It was a great story, and I saw a disgusting amount of myself in Meursault, where it made me reflect a little bit on myself, just like, how am I living? What am I doing this for? Death is very important, and so is life. You know what? Let's take a step back from the... Whoa, I dropped the mic. Let's take a step back from the analysis and just admire the book. If it was with me, isn't this such an absurd review? I don't even have the book with me. How are you supposed to review the book and the book's not even physically present, but it exists somewhere in the ether? It's like 5 to 10 kilometers away. Where is the book? I kind of wish I had slides. Life has no meaning. I will make my own. Existentialists, nihilists. Yeah, I guess the key distinction is the absurdists. Dude, if I... Okay. Listen, oh my god. Nihilism and absurdism are like the most basic like philosophical positions and topics that anyone who like has a cursory glance at philosophy will be able to intuitively grasp. So I'm sounding very cringe. You know what? How about I just don't explain any of this? Yeah. I'll just do that. Or I can recognize the absurdity. Nah, that's whack. Details. Created February 11th. Dude, it's the 23rd of September. The book's like what? 7, 8? I don't like putting numbers on things. I think people should read it. It's a short read. You're not gonna lose much by reading it. I liked it, I guess. I didn't really get it. Albert Camus, he died in a very weird way, didn't he? He like never got in a car his whole life, and then he got into a car once and then died. That's pretty funny. Although Camus has been linked to it. Remember when I was talking about, like, what if I do research in the middle of the review? How hilarious that is. Thank you for watching this video where I ramble on about Stranger by Albert Camus. Are we even recording? Please tell me we're recording, man. Otherwise it's like 16 minutes and 50... Otherwise it's 17 minutes that I've wasted. Right, I'm gonna go get some Taco Bell now, because in my dream when I was waking up this morning, I saw Taco Bell. And I think it's right for me to grab some. I've been working hard. I've been grinding to distract myself from my inevitable death that's coming. I wish I was better prepared. The next book review is going to be so in-depth, so greatly prepared. It's going to knock your socks off. Bye.